speaker is Taylor Valsey. As a returning student, Taylor has had the opportunity to hold working positions across many sectors, including giving historical walkthrough presentations to elementary children, as a case manager and benefits specialist serving unhoused communities both here in the Bay and in Orange County, and as client advocate at an East Bay legal aid clinic. Most recently, Taylor reports that they are incredibly proud to have been part of the major union organizing effort to successfully form Phil's Coffee United. Here at UC Berkeley, Taylor conducted independent studies with Professor Ronit Stahl in our department and Dr. Annabelle Ferris-Comello in the Goldman School of Public Policy, and was part of the 2022 cohort of the UC Berkeley Labor Center's Labor Summer Program. As a historian, Taylor is focused on 20th century American evangelicalism and is passionate about sharing the stories of other queer and transgender people raised in the church. They are proud and excited to be graduating with a 4.0 GPA and an 85-page honors history thesis. This fall, they will be continuing their studies at Yale Divinity School, pursuing their master's in religion with a concentration in the history of Christianity. Taylor Valsey, this podium is yours.
What is the pursuit of history? I remember almost 9 years ago when I was in high school contemplating on what my major should be in college, flipping through syllabi, course descriptions, and faculty, when I actually wept at the thought of never taking another history course again. In that moment, I knew in my body I was not done studying history. That somehow, in all of the years of my primary and secondary education, there were still gaps, crevices, and even canyons of information regarding the breadth of human history that I knew needed to be filled. What I admire so deeply about each accomplished individual here is that I know at some point in our lives, well, maybe you didn't weep like me, we all had that moment. We all felt in our bones and our souls that there is something about this long, confusing, chaotic arc of human history that must be explored further. For my fellow graduates here, I encourage you to take a moment and remember that specific time and place when your heart and your mind knew that you needed to study history. And now, look where it has led you. It is no secret to any of the historians here that pursuing an education in history means you need to narrow in on an extremely specific region, time period, people, event, or movement in which you will be able to do research, provide insights, and write on discoveries that have not yet been considered. While all of our academic pursuits are professional, for myself and every historian I have met, this process is actually extremely personal. We must process, reflect, and examine why, within ourselves, something about the historical narrative of that specific region, time period, people, event, or movement is wrong or must be re-examined. For me, I'll admit to you all, I'm not a traditional student. I graduated high school 8 years ago, and as much as I've always loved the basic study of history, it took me a long time to realize, as a queer and transgender person raised in evangelical conservative Christianity, that the history I was truly meant to research was my own. While I don't know the stories of each person graduating today, I know I am not alone in this journey. That for many of us, the process of writing the mandatory thesis we all had to write to graduate from this program required an immense amount of self-reflection that prompted curiosities about ourselves and our own histories. I'm incredibly proud to say I completed my honors history thesis at UC Berkeley on the 70-year history of Girls and Boy Scouts programs in the Assemblies of God Church, programs in which my own ancestors and I all participated. While researching for my thesis, the history department here at Cal awarded me a grant that allowed me to spend a week in Springfield, Missouri, researching in the only official archive of the church denomination in which I was raised. While the professional growth I experienced on this trip was incredible, I will forever be grateful for what that trip illuminated for me personally. As I worked through thousands of pages of information, combing through box after box in that archive, I finally felt and believed fully in my body. I am a historian. I am a historian. Thank you. I am a historian of 20th century American evangelicalism. I share all this to say I am fully convinced that the process of becoming a historian is just as personal as it is professional. Today, not only do we celebrate this incredible professional achievement, but we also celebrate the tears, the laughter, the confusion, the hope, the rage, and the personal growth that is integral to the process of becoming a historian. For my fellow graduates here, let us just sit in that reality for a moment. We are historians. We have dedicated years of our lives to the practice and study of history, and the day has finally arrived where we each receive the validation of all of this work. Today, we deserve to celebrate, to feel pride, and to rejoice with our loved ones. But what about tomorrow? As historians, we are consumed with the details of yesterday, but we must remember the power we hold to impact today and tomorrow. History is the lens through which each person makes all of their personal, professional, and political decisions. Thus, as historians, the power we hold is immense. We have the power to bring underrepresented stories to light. We have the power to reveal the hidden truths of kings, governments, societies, and cultures. We have the power to label each step on humankind's path. We have the power to change hearts, minds, and souls through the truths we reveal. We have the power to identify and challenge settler colonialism when it occurs, and perhaps make a real difference to prevent future genocides like what we are seeing in Gaza right now. A tragedy that must be blamed in part on the historical community's failure to condemn imperial power. I really do not believe I am being hyperbolic when I say the weight of informed decisions and progress rests in our hands. So what will we do with this power? It was not just the process of flipping through pages and boxes in an archive in Springfield, Missouri that made me feel like a historian. I know now I am a historian of 20th century American evangelicalism, not only because of the thesis I wrote, but because of the power I now see in my own hands to create change. There is a missing history of queer and transgender individuals raised in the evangelical church. And I am more confident now than ever that I am meant to be the historian who fills that gap. And I'm just one person. We are all here because we saw a missing or an incorrect history that needed to be addressed. We felt that urging in our bones to dig deeper, and now, here we are. What I hope all of my fellow graduates take from this is that we are historians, and we are powerful. I challenge myself and my fellow graduates here to move forward with both of these truths. Let us go into the world proudly wearing the title historian, ready to share all of our insights. Let us understand the power that the title historian holds, and let us take the responsibility seriously. Let us use our power to bring about peace, truth, justice, and liberation to all people and all societies. Let us, as historians, change the future. Thank you.